Jacque.
Hey, Megan.
Tonight's game is the last home game before the break, but it's also the last home game of this home stretch that you've been in. What have you seen from this team during that time, and how beneficial has it been to kind of just be back at Barclays, back at the arena during this stretch?
Yeah, it's been great to play games at home. You always want to play in front of your home crowd, and I think we've used the opportunity to get better as a team, whether that is some things we've done defensively, some things we've figured out on the offensive end, step by step getting healthy bodies back into the fold. So overall, I enjoy being at home.
This will be another game where you'll have the new guys, so they can kind of get that chemistry and that consistency together. What more do you want to see, especially against the Celtics team? What type of challenge is that?
Yeah, great challenge for us to be totally locked into a team that's one of the best in the league. And there's a few areas that we definitely have to take care of that we didn't the previous two times we played them. Part of that is transition defense, not giving up early opportunities to guys who can attack the rim. The ability to rebound. I think they had 17 offensive rebounds in one of those games, so giving them extra opportunities, keeping them away from our rim, and doing it without fouling. So there's a recipe. How focused and committed can we be every single possession 100% of the time?
You touched on the rebounding piece. One, how, understanding that he's on a minutes limit, how helpful will Day be in terms of that rebounding piece? And just, what does it change how you're going to have to go about your business defensively once you get him back?
Yeah, it changes because we don't want Day'Ron playing isolation ball against Jason Tatum. And so we'll have to continue to, and that's a part of, without our group being totally together and practicing and figuring out the different lineups and what it's going to take with different lineups, different solutions, and how to cover for each other with the different lineups. So that's going to take a little time. We're going to try to speed that timeline up. But we were a lot of games without Ben, without Doe, without Day'Ron, and that's a lot of rebounding for us. So to have all three of those guys back in the fold tonight, it's a benefit for us for sure.
Right. You mentioned getting the healthy bodies back and everything. It feels like you're pretty full, close to full.
I want them all, Brian. Nah, man, all of them with no minute restrictions. What do you got for
Piece of cake, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You make the games that easy. I mean, does part of you feel like I don't want to take a break now after these next couple games? Like I finally want to, I got to stretch it where I can have a real team, and if we could do some damage if we weren't going off for 7-9 days, whatever it is.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't illegal to practice. I would definitely try to practice during that time. But I'm just going to be simple and thankful that we're getting guys back, and hopefully we'll get to a position where we are whole, and we come out the break, ready to make a push. So we got 2 games before the break that we got a chance to play extremely well in. We'll use the minutes that we have and compete.
Jacque, I know you said you were going to see how Cam was looking after yesterday and kind of how today went. Obviously, he's out. Just any idea maybe for tomorrow yet, or still wondering?
Yeah, it looks like he's on track to play tomorrow, so which is good.
All right, then my second question, I think first 2 games against Boston, you didn't have Ben or Clax, so I guess how does that kind of help you guys rebounding wise? You mentioned the offensive rebound piece. How does that help you having Ben back, but also Claxton to kind of help, offset what the Celtics do with the rebound?
Yeah, it's interesting when you look back on those games and who was playing, who was not playing, how the game shaped out. Obviously Clax is playing some of the best basketball of his career on both ends of the floor. So his influence tonight is huge for us. His ability to handle the basketball, which would be interesting, just because they play defense to their strengths for sure and take advantage of non-shooting. But Clax has the ability to handle the basketball and get us in position where he can get dudes open shots. So we'll be able to use that tonight. But his ability to impact the rim on both ends, we missed in those previous 2 games as he's playing at his highest level I've seen him.
The injuries to Ben and Day and Doe, kind of like the second, third, and fourth string centers, have also coincided with not totally switching defense, but more switching over the last month. How do you parse the rebounding issues when there's simultaneously a change in scheme and a change in big personnel?
Yeah, I think somehow they bleed over into each other. There is evidence, definitely from last year. The big part of us changing schemes was because we didn't rebound the basketball. So we had plenty of evidence that it was just going to make it difficult. You know, if we have bigger bodies, especially now in that starting group, it looks like Doe and Ben and Nick at the same time, we should be able to cover up for each other, be able to guard one-on-one and still rebound the basketball when they're all playing and all healthy and whole. So that's the piece that we're looking forward to seeing. But there is definitely something schematic-wise, also philosophical-wise of what you're giving up, which we were at the beginning of the year, that I think we found a medium for us to live in and get better at.
Dayron really came on in the middle of the season after Ben went down, and now you got Ben back, obviously playing, alongside Nick, and then on some stretches as that small ball five. How do you envision the minutes kind of working with all three of them being healthy now?
Yeah, it's going to be a Rubik's Cube. It is. I got 240 minutes, and one day I was going to bring a list out here, and I'm just going to write it off. So you got 30 minutes for this dude. Yeah, that's 210. Then you got another 30 for this dude. You just go down the list. It's only a certain amount of minutes, and so that's what our group has to understand is that these 30 games, try to put whoever out there is going to help us win. And some nights it's going to be your night. Some nights it's not going to be. The goal is to put a unit out there that's going to help us on both ends of the floor. I would love for it to be consistent. I know every athlete loves that you're going to check in this time of the game, this amount of minutes, this day of the week. It won't happen. We're trying to win games, and especially with the minute restrictions, that makes it more difficult. Just like the other night, I mean, Doe had used up half his minutes because Nick's foul trouble. And so you got things that you don't know are going to happen throughout the course of the game. But with Dayron, it gives us another extra body tonight. But I want them all back healthy, and then we'll figure out how those minutes are.